How you doing this morning? Actually out traveling, and we're actually out for a family wedding. The financial markets don't stop, and thanks to Gary Vee and Nipsey Hussle, which I believe it was Nipsey Hussle's birthday yesterday. So shout out to his memory and all of that. But want to give you my quick view on the financial markets. As you know, we're getting ready to wrap up another week. I have my notes and coffee here. First off, shout out to Nvidia, right? Nvidia, posted better than expected earnings, which is interesting given it's in the semiconductor space, and maybe going into that, we thought there would be some contagion from other semiconductors. So interesting. This again is a stock picker's game. It's another reason why I'm not in the stock market. Again, as I say in all of these, I'm always looking for the impact on consumer behavior and real estate. Hence the review. So I thought that was interesting. Something really important I saw this morning. I actually saw it last night, but did some more reading on it today. Was the CEO of GE? His reaction to what had to be a frustrating situation. If you haven't seen it yesterday, GE was called out by someone who I think pointed at I think it was Madoff's basically somebody who called Madoff's Ponzi scheme bigger than Enron, something like that. Anyways, somebody who has some clout and a record basically said GE is in trouble. And what did he do? The CEO of GE, he went out and dropped almost $2 million of his personal money buying the stock. I think yesterday it was down 10, 11% in just that single move, plus all the press clippings for the press statements from GE have come out, basically saying they never talked to us. And oh, by the way, the author of the article apparently was paid by a hedge fund who is short GE. I don't know if he was paid directly or he's getting part of the position or the profit. So anybody who has that kind of biased, you've got to look at with a little bit. But again, I haven't read the 175-page report. Probably never will read the 175-page report. But I thought it was interesting how the CEO of GE reacted, and I thought it was a great move. I just really hope it was his money versus, hey, let me take a loan from the company and go do that. So that was a great move. Some housing start information came out. It's kind of housing related stuff. Housing starts were down 4%. But when you peel that back, it was really multifamily that was down. Single family homes were actually up. The other thing that was good in the information was permits were up 8.4%. So, some interesting data. Again, all of this was the results pre the last couple of weeks, noise and momentum. But, there is still good news out there. The other thing that I thought was interesting is Ray Dalio, who's actually someone I follow. I read his book. I thought it was pretty interesting. He had two quotes that I thought were interesting. One is he sees a 40% chance of a recession in the next 18 months. I think I'm on record saying it's probably more than that, but again, that's probably higher than he would have said 2 months ago. So I think people are coming to this in opinion. And then the other one that he said is, and I guess it was after he was pressured a little bit, is he doesn't think it's beyond China weaponizing their huge stash of U.S. treasuries. I don't really understand what that means, but I think what it means is they could just sell them, take the loss, which certainly would hurt them. But his basic point is he doesn't think it's going to happen, but if our relationship deteriorates to a point where each country is looking to do maximum harm, that could be something they would do. And I think that is, to think of that kind of scary situation where the two largest economies in the world are out trying to inflict maximum pain, I think that would be a tragedy of epic proportions for leadership, our countries, our economies, our people. So I certainly hope it doesn't get there. I don't think Ray is saying it will get there, but I thought that was interesting. So in the end, as we wrap up this week, it's been interesting. I will say heading into weekends is always interesting for stocks. Something I'll be watching, again, headlines for the weekend is anything going on in Hong Kong. That does seem to have calmed down as we exited the week, but you never know what happens over the weekend, more protests, things of that nature. I will be watching that because if that goes negative bad, it could cause interesting international reaction. The other thing is obviously anything around the trade war. I certainly hope that's on the back burner now. I think trade wars hurt both countries and frankly hurts the world because you're disrupting what was a working machine. So I'll be watching any kind of any headlines or momentum on that side. And then just the last thing, I read an article about how to help save more, right? Because again, if you follow me at any length of time, you know it's important to earn as much as you can, save, and then invest, and ultimately repeat. But one thing that I think is important is, at least in this article, was just to make it automatic and track. What they were talking about is, if you just track your daily expenses, it's not new information, but it's always nice to be reminded. For me, it's not so much spending, it's eating. I got to watch what I eat every day because I'm not as young as I used to be. So in the end, just a good article on, I think it was CNN Money, around how people are starting to track their expenses with various different apps. And if you track it, it will become interesting to watch in the rearview mirror and things of that nature. So again, hopefully the weekend's calm. Everybody, nothing blows up in Hong Kong as far as more protests. The trade war just sort of goes to the back burner, and we can start moving forward. So at the end, have a great weekend. Hope everybody has fun and take care. Thanks.